Welcome to the Dog Chug, Roger and Ross. How's it going tonight?
Well, I'm finally watching the Cavs again. That's been kind of fun, believe it or not.
Yeah.
People are still finding ways to talk about the Browns, even though nothing's really going on. But we're gonna find a way to bullshit about it today.
Oh yes, there will be much Browns talks today. We have a great show for you. We have an exclusive interview with someone from Top Brass. But first, we're gonna bring on our good friend King Eddie because it's his birthday. Happy birthday!
Thank you. Yes,
Eddie, happy birthday. What are you, 20?
Thank you. I wish. I'm 33.
33.
You're a
Hey,
good-looking 33, Edward.
33 is the year, baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's single. It's his birthday. Come on, ladies, go out there
That's
and DM him.
Look at this guy.
He's
Yeah.
ready.
You can DM me. That is accurate.
North of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, north of Pittsburgh. There you go, Roger. You remember.
It's been a while for him, so he'll make the drive to you. It's no problem.
That's right.
What are you doing a shot of?
Hennessy.
Hennessy.
Nice, classy.
That's
I
right.
could do a shot with you, but I don't have Hennessy.
Wow, the one liquor you do not have in your house.
You know what, Eddie? I'm going to do a shot of scotch with you.
My guy.
Oh, there goes
If I
everything's
was
falling
more
down.
prepared, I'd have something.
Ross, you said it best. That there's nothing going on with the Browns. So I'm deactivated from the Browns right now.
I know.
It's
The
sort of
NBA
nice,
does
actually.
exist.
It's sort of nice, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna enjoy the rest of football for what it is, and then I don't have to worry about the Browns right now.
I'm gonna do some Mandarin.
Oh,
Let me pour this
All
in
right.
there. Yep.
I think the only thing in my basement is a handle of Costco vodka from my coworker. Apparently, you can buy liquor in Costco's outside of Ohio,
Wow.
and it's like
Is
super
it-
cheap.
Kirtland brand.
Yeah, and I guess they're actually name brands, but they don't put the name brand on it.
All right. Well, Eddie, to your birthday, to a mildly successful Cleveland Browns season, to like an 8-game win streak for the Cavs that's about to end. We do this shot to you.
to the dog jug.
Thanks, man.
Happy birthday to Eddie.
Oh my gosh.
Eddie,
Yes,
you
sir.
know what? I read what you did and spent some of your birthday doing today. Would you spend some time with your grandma? And
I sure did.
that was a beautiful thing, man. I want
Thank
to tell you,
you.
that was a beautiful thing. So took some time. How many 33-year-olds take time out of their birthday, go spend it with grandma? That was beautiful. I loved it.
Not many. I appreciate
Beautiful.
It's because he's single.
that. Hey, chicks love when you are affectionate towards your grandmother.
Ooh.
That's
I
mean,
I
don't get
salute
too
it. That's
affectionate.
beautiful.
That could get a little creepy if you get too
No,
affectionate.
no.
That's
No,
a
no.
turn up.
well,
I
he
learned
is,
that hard
he
way.
is outside of Pittsburgh. There's weird behaviors over there.
Yes, there's very weird behavior outside of Pittsburgh. That's very correct.
All right, so if you don't mind Eddie making out with his grandma, all right. Well, Eddie, we can't wait to do some more victory chugs this upcoming season. Or any other reason you want to come on and chug or do a shot, I say do it. We love that.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Well, happy birthday,
Appreciate y'all.
everyone, and go off season.
Go off season Browns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Go Brown.
All right. Now we got that out of the way. Let's bring
right.
this up a notch. We're gonna go right to the dog chug updates. And today we're gonna do something a little different. We got a big guest. That's right. We don't have a lot of guests on the dog chug that people actually know of, but we have a big one tonight. That's right. We are interviewing hot off of his press conference, Ann Crew Berry. Welcome to the dog chug, Ann Crew. Well, there he is. Wow.
Wow.
Hey, I just want to say happy birthday, Eddie. And can his grandma play quarterback?
But it sounds like your voice is morphed into Jimmy Haslam a little bit there. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, we like to party together. We do. He's a those Southerners can party, I tell you.
Wow. Well,
So,
Andrew,
a little more southern.
yeah, you got to go more southern. Let's see. We're getting you all looking good here. But
Thank you,
thanks so much for coming back on the dog chug. So we saw during your press conference with the national media, you kept things a little close to the vest. You kept things a little dry.
Yeah, I gotta watch what I say because the media harps on every fucking word. It's refreshing to come on here where you guys suck at following up and nobody watches so I can relax and say whatever the fuck's on my mind without worrying.
Wow. You mentioned an interesting story during your press conference on Monday, a little touching moment about how special it was before the big Jets game with your oldest son being there with you on the field.
Oh, the wife was on the rag and nagging about how I don't spend enough time with the kids, as if it's not enough that I goddamn pay for everything. So I was forced to bring that little shit with me. I'm trying to focus on the game, and it's just annoying question after annoying question. I finally poured some cough syrup in his big gulp, and he was passed out by the third quarter.
Wow. All right. All right.
Zach Martin.
You definitely get a different Ann Berry at night than you do in the morning. You get a little looser version. But why don't you explain to us what went into the decision to acquire Joe Flacco mid-season, a guy that was coming off his couch, and what made him so successful with the Browns?
Oh, so funny story, actually. There's not a lot of time during the season, and we have a lot of free time in the off season. And well, just recently, me and Glenn Cook have this elaborate catfishing scheme. So do a bunch of players around the NFL that's produced hilarious results.
Wait. You're saying you're sitting in your off season all day during the season, pretending to be women and messaging football players? Like, why?
Got to do something to pass the time, and it's been a lot of fun. For example, I have no idea if Travis Kelce and Tay-Tay's relationship is real or not, but that little freak thinks he's talking to a pair of little people who are biological sisters, and he's constantly begging them to wear dildos and double penetrate them.
Oh, my God.
TJ Watt sent back dick pics, and I've never seen a smaller penis in my life. It seriously was the size of Pickett's pinky.
Oh, my God. Wait, by the way, where are you even going with this? I asked you about Joe Flacco.
Right.
Anyway, Flacco's been one of our most elaborate instances, and we've had him going since last season when he was on the Jets, believing he was in love with this Hispanic chick who was obsessed with anal, and eventually he pledged his love and was going to leave his family, which usually would have been hilarious, but Catherine Reich heard us laughing, and we took over this account, and she broke off the engagement with him. For months, he was sending back fucking novels, pleading with this woman that he never met to give another chance. Then when Deshaun Watson went down, we realized how obsessed he was. We had her admit that he wanted to be in Cleveland, and when the Browns reached out, he was begging for him to join the Browns. After the Rams game, we had her message him week after week saying that if he won some games, that he'd get some money. We thought he might actually have a crack at the Super Bowl, but unfortunately, the night before the Houston game, he hired a private detective who discovered she was fake. And the season fell apart, as we all know.
Wow. That's crazy. Do you think you're going to bring back Joe Flacco next season?
He's still recovering at the mental health facility for severe depression, but maybe assuming he gets out. I mean, I'd rather much have a 39-year-old washed-up guy than no confidence Deshaun or DT injured, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Next year doesn't matter. Now that we made the playoffs, figure this time is satisfied to the point we have likely two or three 5 maybe shitty years before my seat warms up.
Wow. Okay, well, let's move it along a little bit. Are you concerned with losing one of your best assistant coaches if Bill Callahan leaves the Browns to join his son at Tennessee?
Of course not. How hard is it to coach up a fat guy to push another fat guy? All you need to do is put a cheeseburger in the defender's pocket like 10 times in training camp, and he'll learn everything he needs to know to do his stupid job. If Callahan leaves, I'm sure that snowflake Stefanski can't wait to replace another middle-aged white guy with a one-armed Vietnamese tranny. And during the season, he'll share her journey getting her junk sliced off so he can show how virtuous the Cleveland Browns are.
Wow. That's wild. Okay, well, what are you hoping to accomplish this offseason to get the Browns ready to take the next step and host a playoff game?
That's a great question.
Anchor, are you thinking?
No, I mean, that's a great question. Let me know if you figure out the answer because I'm outside of whatever the fuck's going on with that dirt ball Jimmy has them. He's signed up and washed up players to 1-year contract. I don't know what he's doing. I've got nothing outside of praying both Lamar and Burrow hit the IR so we have average results in the division and maybe we can sneak up.
Wow. Well, Anchor, I'm out of questions. That's amazing. Roger, why don't you go ahead and do your top 10?
Is he going to stick around for it? All right. I got we got the top 10 funniest things said during the Haslam's holiday orgy.
Hey guys. Hey
Yeah.
guys, hey,
Hold on,
I
Chris.
actually made a dog chug top 10 myself. It's the best segment on the show, and you don't mind if I give it a crack, do you?
You know what? I'm going to step aside and put this one away. Maybe we'll get to use it next holiday or something. Go ahead. It's all yours, Andrew.
All
All right,
right,
what do you got?
Andrew Barry's top 10 reasons I'm the best GM in the MFN league. Number 10, I'm the perfect mix of hip style and soul of a black man, mixed with the education and grammar of a white. And look at that, I knew it was education. Number 9, I took this shitty franchise from throwing parades for an unparalleled level of suck to being mediocre. Number 8, it's just like Stefanski's wife whispered to me the other night. Now that I've gone black, I'll never ever go back.
Ooh, it's an exclusive.
Number 7, I agreed to give Deshaun Watson $230 million. Huge.
Well, I
6,
feel like we didn't get the whole. We didn't copy everything there. That doesn't even make sense.
Well,
Well-
maybe he should be reading more.
Andy, I had some of that Houston funk we talked about last time I was on the show. Number 6, I start every answer with "That's a great question."
So okay, wow, this is not working out.
Number 5, no other GM in the league inspired their stupid fan base to make a sock puppet about them.
It's a good
That's
point.
true.
Number 4, while the other teams are making moves that get their team to the conference championship, no team in the NFL talks about winning more than the Cleveland Browns.
Do talk about winning a
Sure,
lot.
we do talk about winning a lot.
Number 3, I'm hung longer than the 3 dorks on the dog chug combined. Oh, sorry, guys. Number
Wait, How
2,
do you know that?
we analytics. Number 2, I keep getting minorities and women GM jobs. Pretty soon the league is going to resemble a network sitcom. Ooh. And the number 1 reason I'm the best GM in the MFN league is I'm the fucking general manager of the Cleveland Browns, which, so long as the fans aren't calling for my head, automatically makes me the top guy.
Wow. Well
Wow.
done.
Man,
I'm so glad I gave up the top 10 this week. Great job.
Roger, your cheap gift will be in the mail, the same ones we send to season ticket holders.
You're my dude.
Thank you.
Well, Anchor, that was awesome. I always love when you come on the dog chug. I
6
think
quarterbacks next year, fellas. 6 quarterbacks.
Thank you, Anchor. Can't wait to have you back on. Wow.
Wow.
No.
That was better than advertised.
he might have to do all the top 10s. You're screwed, Roger.
Thank God he realized he should be reading off the script and not off of the the slides. Anyway.
There's some things, Andrew. Yeah.
All right. Well,
He's all
anyway,
in the analytics, whatever.
we're not just having Anchor Barry on today. We actually have another awesome guest, and it's another Ed. But this time it's an Ed. It's not his birthday, so we're not going to do a shot with him. But it is awesome, and we're excited to have him back on the Dog Chug. Ed in Columbus, welcome back to the Dog Chug.
Oh shit!
Well-
Who let him in?
Welcome back to myself. I just want to say it's an honor and a pleasure and a privilege to everybody here. But here's the thing, Andy. You just got mad at a sock puppet for not reading the script. This is the I know it's part of the NFL, but you don't believe there's really a script in every aspect of the NFL, Andy?
No, I do not believe that the NFL is scripted.
So cut the sock puppet a little slack. I'm back. Let's have some fun tonight, fellas.
What do you got going on there on the sideburns? I got to see that. It looks like you're on your way to Memphis. Yeah,
don't-
baby.
I don't know what I'm
He's
doing.
growing
I
him
don't
out
know what I'm
until
doing, but
the
I'm having
Buckeyes win a
fun.
national title.
You're a
Yeah.
hound dog, Ed. I love it.
Yeah, I'm barking all the time, I tell you. But I want to say this about the Cleveland Cavaliers, who they have this winning streak going. Because I'm dressed in Cavs gear. You didn't lose because I came on this show. Because I know people are going to accuse that and say stuff and blasphemous things like that. So the streak was good. But there is one streak I want to mention, guys, and it's the only time I'm ever going to mention hockey on any show. The Edmonton Oilers have won 14 straight games, and I think it's no coincidence that the Edmonton Oilers are winning.
Do you
Is it backwards on the screen?
how much time do you think you spend on any given day figuring out what words start with Ed?
Well, here's the thing. My whole life, with the ED, putting things, words in a different time frame was, with the ED. I'm thinking that any word that begins with ED is a privileged word. It's a word from God that's bestowed on me, and I need to present that to the world in a positive light, like I do myself, Andy.
Would you say you're privileged for suffering from erectile dysfunction?
I was going to ask.
Andy,
Did they
I've
shame
gotten
you
over
when
that.
they came out with?
It's all ed people have to deal with things like that. Everybody's got something fucked up about their name. And I'm over the ED jokes. It's just something I'm going to live with. But hey, guys, when you can do that, that's my countermeasure right there, guys. That's my gang sign. It's my gang sign.
All right. Well, we haven't had you on in a
I'm
little
in the
while.
gang, Ed.
There you go. There you go. Flip it, Roger. Flip it.
DE.
Am I backwards?
Yeah.
Oh,
So we haven't had you on the Dog Chug in a little while. It's been too long, so I'm glad you're on. But just wanted to get your viewpoints on, the Browns made the playoffs this year. Kind of sucked when they blew it, but where you're thinking the Browns are at, where they're headed? Are you satisfied? Were they losers again? What's your take on the season?
I'm going to be, Andy, I'm going to be all over the map on this question, but I want to say this. I want to preference this. No matter what this rant goes into, I want everybody to remember these words. I'm going to have fun in 2024. Now it might not seem so fun. Here's the thing. They don't give out trophies for the regular season. They don't. And as a team and looking at this team, I'm upset with them a little bit because I felt this was a chance for them to really do something. And the way that they lost, it bothers me as a fan, and it should. But I'm also, when people talk about having fun and they're like, oh, you don't care about winning. No, as fans, we are allowed to have fun. We should have fun. It should be a fun time with our families, our friends, and everybody on Sunday on social media or even face-to-face. I know people don't do face-to-face anymore, even if they're in the same room. I get that. I have kids. Here's the deal. We're allowed to have fun, and it doesn't make us one fan base better than the other fan base. The Browns, let's be real, though. Historically, just like 1980, Brian Sipe wins the MVP. That's great. He won, and Myles Garrett's going to win the Defensive Player of the Year award. That's great. But as a city, we don't have parades for those. And that's where I'm with this team is. I'm happy. You take the circumstances and say they're not the Cleveland Browns. They had 5 different quarterbacks. They won 11 games, and they went to the playoffs. So you'd say, that's a good team. Okay, that sounds good. That's a good story. But because of our history, because of what we haven't won, it's been now 34 years since a young Ed in Columbus woke up Ed in North Olmsted, 9 years old, with the Browns at the Broncos to go to the Super Bowl. We have not woke up as Cleveland Browns fans on one day, just one day, not about a season, woke up one day thinking if we win this game, we're going to the Super Bowl. Haven't done that in 34 years. And that's what drives me nuts because it's like, oh, I wasn't around then, and these younger fans don't understand that. But at the same time, if it's not this year, when is it? And that's why, Roger, I see your hat, Michigan. I want to congratulate you. This was your year to win it. I think it's Baltimore's year to win it as well. So we'll get on that later. But I just want to say, like, as a Browns fan, you asked me how I feel. As fans, I feel good. It's fun. I had a fun year. It was fun. My son is a Browns fan. He goes to school and cares about if they win or lose now. That's awesome. But the fact that they didn't get it done on the field, just like 1980 with the Cardiac Kids, everybody in Cleveland loves the Cardiac Kids. They write books. It's such a feel-good story. Brian Stipe, awesome. But at the end of the day, they lost in the first round of the playoffs, just like we did this year. I mean, so that's where I'm at with this. Go Browns.
Do you have some like positive takeaways, like we're trending in the right direction, or is that
here's the thing: you're always trending in the right direction if you have a solid defense. Check. I mean, I don't like them on the road. I think we need to hire a road defensive coordinator because averaging 30 points on the road, considering 10 home.
Analytics would tell you that, yeah.
Yeah, the analytics. So here's to the Andrew. Shout out to Andrew Barry, by the way. What a rock star. But you ask if we're trending upwards, yeah. And on franchise quarterback, like Deshaun Watson may not be the Houston Deshaun. He may not be, and I'm almost resigned to the fact that because of his injuries and the fact that he's getting closer to 30. What is he, 29? I mean, whatever. If he's not 5,000 yard, 40 touchdown Deshaun. No, Stefanski's proven he can win with Baker Mayfield. He can win with Kirk Cousins. So look, Brock Purdy's winning with with Kyle Shanahan. So look, he doesn't have to be. Just don't turn it over. Don't turn it over and be 80% Deshaun. And I think we'll be just fine.
Hey,
so I'm trying to. And plus, we have a kicker.
What's the Mountain Dew count at?
Here's the deal with the Mountain Dew fellas. I had a game. My son had a game tonight. We barely won. It was a close game in Circleville, but That's why I got these double
Oh,
cannon.
no.
So yeah, I'm ready to
Nice.
go. But yeah,
We lost
Andy,
to Revere
sky's
by
the limit.
2.
Sky's the limit with the Browns. I love them. Still my team, but they didn't get it done this year, and you should be disappointed as Browns fans. But
Sure.
we'll do it again next year. We'll do it again next
Very
year.
disappointed.
Yeah.
Indeed. A lot of people are questioning why they're making some moves, but I'm glad they're not just saying, "Oh, let's try again next year." Like they need to make improvements. They made a lot of improvements, special teams and defense. Let's keep it going. So if there's room to improve, let's go for it.
I agree with that. And Ohio State's the same way. That's why I'm not mad at the Browns. They could have fired the janitor, and it's still better. No offense to janitor. I hope he finds another job and has a great family and everything. But at the same time, if you make 0 moves, then you're not even trying then. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't just expect doing nothing and then, catching up with look, we got to go to CJ Stroud next year, guys. I mean, that's another quarterback to add to the list of people now we got to go through. So, I mean, the AFC is not getting any easier, and even Harbaugh going to the Chargers, breakhead news right there. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make things easier too. So, I mean, the Browns have to do something. So they're firing. They could have fired anybody, Andy. I would have said, unfortunately, it sucks, but yeah, you got to do something.
And the division is going to be very tough next year. I mean, Baltimore is looking unstoppable. Bengals are going to get Burrow back. Yeah, we're going to definitely need to get better if we're going to contend in this division. So I agree.
Let's have fun, right? Yeah.
Let's have fun.
That's what I said first, Ross. See, Ross gets it. Ross, listen to me. He's, you know what? That's right. Let's have fun first. That's what I said. And that's what I'm going to do in 2024. I encourage everybody to do that as well, especially it's election year, Andy. And I want to say this. We like sports. We have a new segment. We all know Breakhead News is the greatest segment in all, but we have a new segment called The Great Debate. And I want to thank Ed School for a little bit of it. So I took Ed School. I defined that. Now I'm teaching my skills, because to be a master, Andy, as you know, you have to be a teacher. You taught me, Ed School, got it done. Now we're doing The Great Debate. Check us out on the We Like Sports show. It's getting fun.
Am I getting royalties from this?
I think Dog Chuck at school.
Sounds like you took my bits and are doing it on another podcast.
Pretty sure Dog Chuck owns
It's
that
not.
school.
No, it is not. It is inspired by. And I give credit. Look, I give credit where credit is due. Just like I want to give a shout out to
You sound like a
Squad
politician,
Pod.
Andy.
Fire Ed.
Shout out to the Squad Pod, Yvette. We all friend of show Yvette, Lana, and Lysandra. The Squad Pod. Shout out to them. Look, I plug shit. Andy.
Always.
That's what I do. I plug shit.
Always. And Lysandra and her family, they had that terrible disaster that happened to them. So they're trying to get back on their feet.
I want to be. I want 2024 is year of fun, Andy. I'm trying to promote people and be the nice person that's uplifting, right? Uplifting.
You're going to be the nice guy. What happens if getting attention gets in the way of being the nice guy? Then what happens?
I learned you got to pick where you go. You got to pick your venues, and you got to be around people that won't let you deviate from that. So I'm learning that. So a lot of homework has to go through these things.
Wow. You are sounding more and more like a politician every day.
It's 2024. Let's embrace it. Let's have some fun. That's what I mean. America's going to talk about it, Andy, and they're going to fight about it. And you thought the Watson Wars and the Baker Wars were bad? Let's be real. Trump v. Biden rematch ain't going to make everybody just start to get along now. I mean,
Pay-per-view, baby.
there you
All right.
go.
What about this? You made a lot of jokes about this individual. He came out in the playoffs and kicked ass as an underdog. Came back as a big underdog and played pretty good game till he gave it away.
Right.
What'd you think about Baker Mayfield this season?
Good for Baker. He got paid. Here's the thing about Baker. The jokes are always funny. He came up short, and everybody knew in Cleveland and around the world, as soon as he got that final drive, he's gonna throw a pick. Come on, the jokes. I was on X. I mean, everybody said that. I mean, everybody had the same joke. Well, we all knew how this was gonna end, and that's no different than what I do. People get mad at me and say, "Oh, Ed, you're saying the same. He came up short." Joke. Everybody makes the same Baker jokes because they're funny. Who cares? Move on. He's gonna get paid. Good for Baker. He's having a baby, so God bless him and Emily. They're gonna do the. You know what I'm saying? I love that. Making fun of Baker wasn't anything personal ever with him. If I met him, I'd kiss his ass probably. It's Baker Mayfield. I mean, he's, you know what I'm saying? And as an Ohio State Buckeye fan, who when he put that flag on the 50-yard line, look, I didn't like it, but he won the game. Michigan won, Roger. Michigan won. As a Buckeye, it sucks. You have every right to just rub it in my face if you want. You have every right to do that.
Hey, I think you need Andy. I think he needs an Ed School refresher. He is talking absurdly fast. I thought we fixed that.
No.
Yeah,
I get
man,
accused of even being faster. I'm actually slowing it down right now.
I mean, you should watch this back. You'll see what we're saying.
So you sent him a 45 instead of a 33 on the record player. That's for the old folks that would understand what a record player is.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
happy for Baker. That was a great year. Here's an interesting question: do you think Tampa's going to re-sign him to a big contract? They're going to lose a lot of players. I mean, obviously he's got to like the climate. He did well for the team. He's got to be high, so I would think it makes sense. But they're kind of in that weird stage where are they rebuilding? Are they? I don't know. Like, is
They
Baker?
should do it. They should learn from what teams like them. Or the problem is they're too good to get a high enough draft pick to get that Caleb Williams or whatever. So they're like in the NBA. You're in that purgatory of your 500. So you know what I'm saying, you're not sucky enough to get the number one pick, and you're just going to be 500. That doesn't good. They're in that stage kind of right now with Baker. They'll be 9-8 every year with him. They'll make the playoffs. But here's the thing: Baker's so inconsistent. I could see him, going on a run where he actually played 2 good games in a row. Oh my God, I know that's the problem with Baker. He never can just play. That's why I as Cleveland fans, it's like you saw that would go on a little run, maybe beat the Bengals and put up 5 touchdowns, and then come back with 3. Then he kind of goes dormant for 2 to 3 weeks, kind of like he did at the end of the year when they beat 9-0 over Carolina and didn't do anything. Like he does that. Look, what I'm saying. So, but I think with Baker, they should sign him a 3-year deal. I mean, look at Danny Dimes got with the Giants. Here's the thing, and he sucks. Like, let's be real. I'll give Baker some credit. Over a season, Baker can put up good numbers. Problem is, he's just too up and down.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If I was the Browns, if the Browns didn't get Watson, they would have signed Baker to a 3-year, $40 million deal or something, or $40 million a year. I would have been okay with that, what I'm saying? Because you're not overpaying, but you still got to pay for that consistency. You still got to win. Tampa's not going to suck enough to be 2-14, so might as well keep Baker, give him a 3 or 4 year deal, and just roll with it. What else are they going to do? I mean, they're kind of stuck in that.
And I got some supporting data for you. You're gonna like. So
Okay.
I'm sharing a screen.
Thank you.
These are all the Cheesecake Factories.
They got. I see. When I googled it, I only found the one.
There's 4 in the Tampa region.
Okay. Okay.
So that's some dog chug analytics right there.
That's good stuff, right? Hey, Ross, the only thing I'm gonna need is little but aerial footage. I need to see back alleys. I gotta see creep. You know what I'm saying? That's only see which location is more prime for more of the parking lot than the inside dining.
And they got thousands of yachts over there. Don't worry.
Okay.
An Ohio individual asks, does anyone believe Stefanski is on John Harbaugh's level? I just really quickly, I mean, one of the reasons Harbaugh is so good is because he's been with the Ravens for so long. They know what players are looking for. That everything's kind of been consistent, and he's really evolved, I think, into the coach that he is. I mean, they've had so many first-round picks lately that have all been panning out. That's just a great team over there. I like what the Browns have been doing to, come out of the disaster that we've been for so long. I just think we need to keep this, brew going, keep it consistent, upgrade where you have to. And maybe that's what we could get to. I still think Andrew Berry said it, that Stefanski is, not, what did he say? He's not the finished product yet, but they love where he's going. I happen to agree with that. I think Stefanski's made some mistakes, but I see improvement. Just keep the plan going is what I say. Ed, what do you think about that?
See, here's the thing. What I like about it is I think the plan is this. And one thing, I think Stefanski's doing what Ryan Day's doing now. A lot of people on X and Brown's Twitter, it bothers me about this one topic. And because I think people get mad at each other. It's not what you believe in, it's your intention or your intent. Like, I make fun of Watson, I make fun of Baker. People know that's what I do. I fuck around. Who cares? But some people say one thing and they believe they're Baker, Burrow, Watson worse. So they attack him. They look for every angle. I think the Browns with Stefanski he's like Ryan Day. Ryan Day got Bill O'Brien as his offensive coordinator. Ryan Day's paying a shitload of money in NIL. The Buckeyes think this is Armageddon. Michigan wins the national title, and they're going nuts. I think Kevin Stefanski's at the same point because he realizes, look, they let the 3 offensive. They go to Houston and get bombed defensively. Let's be real. The defense didn't show up. That's why we lose the game. You know what I'm saying? So he says, fuck it. I'm going to get rid of these guys offensively because, look, I think he's going to bring in an offensive coordinator that's more suited with Deshaun Watson. That doesn't mean, guys, because people on Twitter are going to come after me and say, no, he's still going to call plays. And I think Stefanski's going to still call the plays. I think he wants a guy that will give him the the plays to call because he's worked with that guy from Houston and things like that. There's people that have Watson ties. I think why not? It's just like a car. It's like you can have a great car, but if it's clunking up, it's not running correctly, it's not a smooth ride. You could have a beat up Chevy truck, but you know what? As long as it's smooth, it's a better ride. And I think Deshaun's one of those cars. Where you got a nice sports car, but it's got some clunking. And I think get the right offensive coordinator, and I'm saying good oil in there. And
Yeah, you don't want Ed driving that car.
I'm driving that car. I'm riding that motherfucker. I'm riding it.
How many times 2 years ago they were talking about firing John Harbaugh in Baltimore? He's a completely different kind of coach. He was a special teams coach his entire career. He never called an offense. He never created an offensive system or a defensive scheme. He special teams schemes, special teams coordinator. He facilitates and he designates all the duties to everybody else. For Kevin Stefanski, and I love the people that think Kevin Stefanski can give up play calling this year. It's just absurd. I got sources. Get the fuck out of here with your sources. He's not giving up play calling.
You want to bet on it,
completely different kind of coaches. I think they're two different kind of. But is he, as far as garnishing the respect of the locker room? I think yes, Kevin Stefanski did that this year. Like John Harbaugh commands or gets the respect from his locker room and his players. They believed in what Stefanski was doing, and they played hard for him. How can you weigh one coach against the other? Like I said, 2 years ago, they were trying to run Harbaugh out of town. It's a year-by-year thing. We got a guy that might win the Coach of the Year this year. He's probably one of the best up-and-coming young head coaches in the NFL. With the Sean McVay's right behind him. And, what we see and what the team sees, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't buy into that.
We don't shower with them. Is that what Roger's saying?
Not everybody has to be a rah-rah guy up and down the sidelines and all that nonsense. I don't believe in that. I think that's I think it's overblown. Guys lead in different ways. I think Stefanski is a leader, and it shows because of what they did this year. If he wasn't a leader, they wouldn't have followed him and won 11 games with what he had to go through and put together every week. So I don't want to hear that because he's not running up and down the sidelines with pom-poms like Nick fucking Carnes. I don't want to hear that, he ain't a coach,
Roger's salty tonight.
Those are actually virtual pom-poms, though. He doesn't.
Well, I just mean, he's not a fan. People lead differently, man.
Right.
I hate that whole Kevin Stefanski because he doesn't yell and scream or row. I hate it that he's not a leader. I think it's bullshit. Right.
Yeah.
There you go, Zach. Coach of the Year.
Yeah, and I think leadership is something you have to learn. It's hard just to be thrown into being the top guy. You don't really know how that's going to go. It's something that I think you do have to learn. You have to get experience. And as Roger said, the team seemed to be completely behind him. One of the coolest things that I've observed is like everyone that the Browns let go just talks so glowingly about the organization, and they just got fired by the Browns. When the hell have we ever seen that before? Like every guy that leaves the Browns basically goes to the media and is like, yeah, that was really, really shitty place. I can't wait to get to my next job. Didn't see that. So
yeah, you're right. Shanahan had that 36-point PowerPoint presentation.
I think that all is conducive of Barry and Stefanski. I just think they're doing things the right way, and guys like being here. Deuce Staley. A couple teams I think were courting him, and apparently he's picked the Browns. I have no idea if he's going to be a good running back coach, but it's a good sign that he's a guy that was a little bit in demand and wanted to come here. So I think organizationally things are so different, and Stefanski has his faults. We saw it earlier in the season, but I think there's way more positive than negative, and I'm just excited to keep this group together and see if they can continue, because this has to be the most competitive division in football right now. I can't imagine two tougher outs than a healthy Bengals squad.
All over 500, or everybody was over 500.
And the Steelers are, clearly not going to fall off a cliff. So that's three really really good teams. We're going to have to be at our best, and I think this is the squad to do it. We shall see. Anyway, why don't we move it along to spit, sip, chug?
I won't say it, Roger. I'm not gonna say it. I told myself I'm not gonna say it.
What that you invented?
that you
Yeah,
came up
see,
with
I
it?
have you guys do it for me when you. Yeah, thank you,
That's-
thank you. Yeah,
Royalties.
it never gets old. It never gets Andy. It's like the thing. I love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, we'll start this off. Roger, you get to go first. We are going to allow you to sip today. And this first one is right up your alley. The Wolverines will not miss a beat after it was announced that Harbaugh is moving from college from Michigan to the Chargers.
Well, I'm gonna have to chug on that. Chugging on Coach Moore. You know, right now all the Bucknuts are celebrating the players they got in the transfer portal. And Alabama's quarterback, Alabama safety. Who did Michigan beat? They were on the goddamn team that we just beat. I don't give a shit. Go get 3 more Alabama guys, Bucknuts. Get 5 of them. We just beat them. Get a couple guys from Washington if you want to, and bring them along. Coach Moore is just going to keep putting it back on you, just like Harbaugh did. Michigan is back in charge. We're back. We're the best team in the country. We have the trophy. We're not sitting around trying to buy one next year.
We are.
The goddamn Ohio State Yankees is what you are. You should be embarrassed and ashamed. Go blue.
Wow, it's gonna be tough to follow that up, Ross. But let's.
Well, remember, I am not an Ohio State fan, so I'm a very neutral observer in this situation. I'm going to spit. They won their title. They did it with a bunch of seniors. Now they got to go through the motions all over again, and they're not worried about going all in, chasing the NIL money. They're good. They're good for another, 10 years. Like, winning a title in college football is a big deal. You're given a lot of forgiveness. The organization knows that there's no pressure on any of the coaches. Like, if they suck ass next year, no one cares. And I will agree with what Roger said. The Ohio State Buckeyes are the Yankees. They're throwing the money out to win. They're doing whatever it takes to win. All the pride that used to go with, we have players from Ohio. That left 10 years ago.
Out the
There's no
window.
players playing in Ohio from Ohio.
Don't play in
Ohio
Michigan,
State
winning
anymore.
natties.
That ended a long time ago. Then it was, at least we develop our players. That went out the door. Now it's all about, let's just fucking win. And it doesn't matter. So to all you, Cowboys, Lakers, and Yankees fans, you can just go cheer for Ohio State because you can have that.
LeBron does.
Because they're probably gonna kick the Wolverines' ass this year, and that's all that matters, I guess.
No, the last 3 it hasn't. The last 3 it hasn't, the Buckeye fans. Oh, no, Ryan Day's 56. And we beat up on Akron and Bowling Green all the time. So the last 3 years, it really hasn't mattered to Buckeye fans, apparently. Because Ryan Day
Anyways,
still got a fucking job.
They will miss a beat losing Harbaugh, is what I'm saying. Even if
After all that, we're getting to
Honest-
the point here.
honestly, if they lose one game, they're missing a beat, right?
Yeah.
Too
Because
bad
that'll
our network
probably have to
don't
be
have a
Ohio
Buckeye
State,
podcast
and
that
they
can
won't
bring
make
a
the
Wolverine
championship or
fan on.
something. I don't know.
They're going to be the favorite next year, and are they going to play like it? It doesn't mean they have to win the championship, but it just means they're going to play like a team that just won last year.
No, I don't. I think they're gonna miss a beat. Definitely.
All right, Ed.
Well, here's the thing. I want to say this. Ross, this is the greatest. I don't have to do anything. Ross said everything I wanted to say. Everything I wanted to say. Okay. Roger said everything that you would think a Buckeye fan would be like, man, that's no, man, no. I'm going to say, Roger, you are absolutely right. We are the Yankees. As a Cleveland fan, I ain't going to apologize for nothing.
I love it because you admit it.
Yankees, Lakers, cares. We're that team. We spend. I'm not going to apologize. Just like you guys when you say, the sign stealing, it's not everybody cheats. And I agree with you. Everybody cheats.
Right.
I don't have a problem with it. Good for
Right.
you. You got away with it. My point is this. If the Buckeyes are spending a lot of money like other sports teams do, nobody says, the Yankees, let's get back to 27 World Series championships. They still have a parade. If Ohio State has to pay for a championship, so what? So what? I don't care. I'm a Browns fan. I'm not going to apologize for shit.
Right. I love you, Ed, because you're honest. At least tweet that out. Hey,
Yeah,
we're guys,
Roger,
we're gonna try to buy a
congratulations.
natty this year. You
Maurice
know?
Claret, guys. Maurice Claret, when we won it in 2002, he wasn't receiving payments. I mean, no offense, Maurice. I love you. Youngstown loves you. White Town's finest. I get that. But at the same time, look, every team cheats. Good for you guys. Who cares? You guys won. You beat Ohio State by probably having. So what? Who cares? That's Ohio State. Be better. Be better. So. Thank you. And I want to chug because I want to do the opposite of spitting because that's what my answer. And Ross, that was a great answer, Ross. Great answer. And Roger, thanks for the shit. You keep it real. That's the one thing about Ohio State fans. Look, I keep it real. I went to Ohio State. I love Ohio State. But yes, we're buying the championship. Who gives a shit? I make no apologies. I don't care. I always said this about Cleveland's quarterback. If the Devil's playing quarterback, some people think Deshaun's worse than the Devil. I don't care. I'm a Browns fan. I don't care. You want morality? Go to church. You know what I'm saying? You want sports? Well, you're probably chugging with us tonight.
There you go. Salute, Ed.
Well, it seems it's turning more into an Ohio State question than a.
Roger loves it though because he can talk Michigan. He loves it. I know he does.
Yeah, I think Harbaugh definitely set up a culture that allowed them to come out of misery and do an amazing accomplishment this year. And I think whoever is going to take over. I mean, I don't even know. Harbaugh probably wouldn't have been there next year anyway. With when he finally got punished. But so I think Michigan's going to be just fine. And as far as Ohio State buying a championship, that's absolutely what they're doing because what they have right now is shitty. And part of that's because Ryan Day is just not the guy in my estimation. I don't understand why people continue to defend him. I know I defend Stefanski, so I sound like an idiot here.
They're the same coach. That's the thing. People that are – it's so funny you said that. I think Stefanski and Ryan Day are much alike, and I think that they're actually good coaches, but sometimes they're toughening up now, and you're seeing that with Stefanski. I think Ryan Day's toughening up, spending the money, but also getting in Bill O'Brien, and I think he's going to do that with the offensive coordinator. I think they're both good coaches, and just like Mike Tomlin, I think Stefanski's delegating, and he's going to be a better coach. I think look, you saw emotion on the sidelines he was running. You saw more emotional – look at those speeches after he's becoming a coach. He's growing into that position. That's one thing we never had in Cleveland. We actually kept the coach, let him grow into the position. He's becoming a coach. Schottenheimer did it in the late 80s and 90s. Look at Belichick did that. He became a coach. Stefanski's becoming a coach. Let's actually enjoy the fruits of that labor.
Right. The thing I dislike about Ryan Day is the emotions are so like I don't know. Like when he wins, he says stupid things, and he just seems.
He is from New
He
Hampshire.
seems like a very insecure man to me. Is the problem?
His beard is weird. He looks like a caveman.
Like Eminem's
a funky
beard.
beard.
He's got a weird beard. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
He looks like a caveman.
You shouldn't really evaluate a coach on his beard, but I think Ryan Day's the exception. He just seems like a guy that is very insecure and doesn't think he's.
My son played his AAU basketball team.
And he I feel like he overdoes it to like pretend like he has confidence, and players see through that shit so fast. It's very phony.
And they're common. The money talks. So money talks.
Yeah, and I'm just not. Whatever. Maybe he'll grow into the job, but I'm not seeing it. So yeah, I think Ohio State's going to do everything they can to put themselves in a position to win, but what they need to do is rethink the top. So I don't think it's going to work. I think Michigan's going to be just fine next year. So I'm going to chug on this.
They got to replace McCartney though. They got to. I mean, I know, with a new. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I think Ross. I think you're right, Andy. In the long term, Michigan is going to be fine. I think Ross, to your point, if you actually look at the roster construction next year, I think Michigan might lose. I mean, actually lose 2 games because they got a tough schedule. Michigan, they really do. Oregon, Washington. I mean, they got. All
right, let's move it along to statement number 2. Roger might be having some connectivity issues, but he's going last, so hopefully he'll figure that out. Ann Crewberry talked about not wanting, that play against Pittsburgh to be Nick Chubb's final with the Cleveland Browns, and sounds like they want to bring him back. He's only signed on for 1 more year, so the statement is the Browns should extend Nick Chubb beyond the 2024 season. Yes.
I'll have to sip on it. Because from the way our front office runs analytically and how the running back market is, you don't just overpay this guy because he's been our running back for so many years. Like, you got to get something out of it. And running backs are disposable, and he's coming off an ACL injury. So I'm sipping mainly because if we pay him the right amount of money, keep him in Cleveland forever. But if he's looking for the money that is like what we gave him, for his extension, then no, you don't re-sign him because that would just be dumb, and that's not how we operate. Just giving him money because you like the guy isn't how an analytical organization works. Hey, let's just throw money at this guy because we like him. He's a nice guy. We love him. He works hard. But if his production goes down, which is very likely after an injury like this, you don't. Let him prove it for 2024, then decide. So
All right.
Don't extend him now. Just take your time. There's no rush.
Ed.
You know what? I want to chug on this one. I'm more sipping with the sip, but here's why I'm chugging. He is such a goodwill ambassador. But Ross said the best point about this whole thing. Time. All you do is he's got 1 year left. So it's not like he's going to play out the deal. Obviously, he's not like a coach that like you got to re-sign him to it because you don't have a lame duck coach. I get that. He's going to play no matter what next year. So here's the thing. You encourage him. Give him all the love that he deserved. He's earned that. He's built up that cachet of fans' respect, but also organizational love as well. And you have him rehab, and he comes back. And Mary Kay Cabot's writing about it every day. Even Dale Ryder's writing about it every day, even though people don't like him. But they'll say he's writing nice stories, so they're going to love it. And he's doing good in that first preseason game. He gets 1 carry for 20 yards. Okay, take him out. And after the first game, when he goes over 100 yards, you say, okay, Nick, let's give you another year then. Because you don't have to do it now. The thing is this. You want to do it, but he comes back. He's not really that good. You got him for the 1 year. You're going to play him, but you're not going to re-sign him. Like, you're not just going to give him money if you know he sucks. You're going to know pretty much right away he's got the explosiveness. I think he's like Adrian Peterson. I think he's a freak of nature. I think he's going to be just fine. Will he ever be the Nick Chubb that he was? No. Every year he's getting older, so he would never have been Nick Chubb that he was 2 years ago, 1 year ago. Every year he's going to – but at the same time, I don't think it's going to slow him down that much. So I think I'm fine with that, and I wanted to chug. So, yeah, I love Nick Chubb. You got to. You got to have some goodwill for the city.
All right. I happen to agree with everything that Ross said. You made a lot of sense there. Analytically, it doesn't make sense to overpay a aging running back. However, first of all, Nick Chubb is, I think Ed pointed on this, he embodies what this organization wants out of their players, to do it the right way, whatever. And the best example of that, to hear Andrew Perry going on about how hard he's been working to be back, it's just awesome as a fan to hear that. I don't know how much validity there is to that, but I see it from Nick Chubb every time I watch him, every time I hear him talk, when he talks. I think he is the guy that just, is going to be that favorite player. So I like the idea of re-signing him. However, I agree with Ross. I don't want to overpay. I don't think you're going to have to overpay is the point. I think he didn't really go for a top dollar contract when he was here last time. I don't think you're going to have to pay him top dollars now for what might be his final, contract. There's too many question marks with his injury. So I think if you have the discussion, like, let's extend you 2 more years, I think you can get him at a premium deal. Maybe there's some incentives in there. Maybe there's some injury protection. I don't know, but I think you can. I trust Andrew Berry will be able to figure that out. And I would love if Nick Chubb's on this team for the next couple of seasons. So I'm chugging on this all day, provided our front office is smart about it, which I think they only make smart moves. So I'm pretty confident they would be. Roger.
Chugging on it.
Yeah.
I'll chug at the end, since Andy's chugging right now. How many times this year with Joe Flacco, 2-3 games, did we say, even before we got Joe Flacco, when we had DTR there, PJ Walker winning games, did we say, man, just think if we had Nick Chubb? So next year, when we're in week 14, 15, and maybe Deshaun's healthy, but he's beat up and he's out there, playing his ass off, we're going to need Nick Chubb. I think there's absolutely no way that they don't extend him. It's hard to read what Barry had to say. Unfortunately, Ant Crew didn't have anything on Chubb.
He went off script, I heard. He went off script.
But time and time again, last year we had some idiots on fucking Twitter that wanted to trade Nick Chubb to get more firepower for Deshaun Watson. And I think the Cleveland Browns organization values Nick Chubb. I think they are going to extend him. I think he's going to be, like you guys said, he's almost like the astronaut Steve Austin. He comes back from these knee injuries. What did he do his junior year in college? And
at Georgia, yeah.
The same, yeah. So He just seems to bounce right back. Nobody works harder than Nick Chubb. I have complete faith that he'll be back. Even if he's 90% Nick Chubb and he's not 100% Nick Chubb, I'll take 90% Nick Chubb over any running back in the NFL.
Yeah, I'll take a 90% Chubb over a full Chubb.
I'm
You
Chubb.
beat me to that joke, Ross.
Nice. All right.
You guys say I'm talking fast. You say I'm talking fast. I missed that one, Ross. Congratulations, taking that one.
You got to be quick on the draw, Ed. All right. We got 4 teams left.
Loser.
4 teams are left in the playoffs, but the Baltimore Ravens will be the winners of the Super Bowl. Ed.
Who's up? You or Ed?
I'm
Ed.
gonna sip on this. Do I think they're gonna go to the Super Bowl? I do, kind of, unless the NFL just says, you know what, we really need Tay in the Super Bowl. We got to get that, the Swifties, and and I'm okay with that. I think I'm actually more annoyed by Travis Kelce than I'm Tay. I don't know what it is. I don't know those Kelce brothers. I see them, and I know they're from Cleveland, but they don't help the Browns out. So everybody in Cleveland loves them, but they help Kansas City out. They help Philadelphia out. They didn't help Cleveland out. Then they went to Cincinnati, Ross, for college. That doesn't really help Cleveland. That's Cincinnati. So okay. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm sipping on the Ravens. I remembered, Andy. I remember what the question or the statement was. It's a statement, guys. That yes, I'm sipping because I think the 49ers are a big challenge to them. I know they didn't look good when they played head-to-head the first time in San Francisco when the Ravens dominated. But I think Brock Purdy, I could just see him being like the next old Tom Brady and winning 3 or 4 Super Bowls. And you're thinking, he's not really that good. He's not really that good. And then he's going to have some great career. So, yeah. Sipping, Andy, sipping.
All right. Sipping is a Roger move, but, I get it when you're lame.
I respect Hey, he's a national champion.
Sip on that, Ed? How are you sipping on that? I don't.
They
never
might
mind.
win the Super
Never
Bowl, or
mind.
they might not win the Super Bowl.
Well, they're
I'm gonna
going. Look,
sip on it.
look, guys. I didn't just say I'm sipping because I actually put the Ravens in the Super Bowl. So I took one. I actually made a play on one. I'm just not ready to commit to them winning 2 games, but I did say one.
All right.
I'm already in a pissy mood, Ed.
Damn it, I'm chugging. Fuck it. The Ravens are winning. Cleveland never wins. Fuck it. Is that what you want me to do?
Are you going to spit too?
Fuck the Ravens. I'm spitting too. Shit. What do you guys want? What do you want? I'll put on a show no matter which way you want it. Don't matter.
All right. Well, for me on this one, and I have to admit that in the preseason, I did put $100 on the Ravens to win a Super Bowl.
See, look at Andy.
It's going to be $1,900. That is not why I'm going to. Has nothing to do with my answer to the question. I just think they are pound for pound, up and down the best team. I think San Francisco is amazing too, but I think I do think the Ravens are going to make the plays and they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. So we'll see if I win that bet. I hope they don't. Actually, I'd rather lose the bet because I don't want the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. Fuck the Ravens, but I do think they're going to. So I will.
So do you say fuck the Ravens when you place the bet, Andy? How does that work?
When I placed the bet, I just thought it was great value because it was like 19-1 on a team that I thought legitimately is, has one of the best rosters in the league. So it's just like,
I mean, some people in Cleveland would say that's sacrilegious. You're like, fuck it, here's 100 bones.
Yeah, I mean, when I make bets, I'm looking to make money. I'm not gonna.
Fair enough. I respect that. I respect that answer.
I'm gonna be the guy that drafts the Ravens players on my team. Fuck the people that are like, I'm not drafting.
You are, Andy.
Yeah, I want to win. So I'm chugging on this one, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope that I'm gonna look like an idiot here. Roger.
Hey. I'm spitting. I downloaded some Taylor Swift music. I'm listening to it at work today. You know why? Because a guy tells me that she's just enjoying the game. Why shouldn't I just allow her to enjoy the game? And because he has daughters that love Taylor Swift, and he said that she has some music that he enjoys. So I thought I'd give it a shot. And I think he's lying to me. But I'm still going to listen and hope anything but the Baltimore. I fired Tom Heckert this morning again for drafting Brandon Weeden, and he's dead. I didn't know it. I fired a dead guy this morning. I'm trying to get in a good mood, and you have to throw this question in here and upset me all over again with the Ravens winning a Super Bowl, Andy. Anybody but the Ravens, the Kansas City's gotta beat them because even my beloved Lions, the Lions would get crushed by the Ravens. So I'm hoping for a Lions Kansas City Super Bowl. But man, anybody but Baltimore. Even Taylor Swift and Jason Cleese with his big beer belly. I can get that dude's all right. I like him. Chugging beers with his beer belly out. He's a Cleveland Heights guy. I love him. And you can see, did you see Patrick Mahomes' dad looked annoyed in that Idaho thing? So it is kind of entertaining to sweet when they pan in there. But anybody but Baltimore. I'm spitting on it. I hate the Ravens. I'm old enough to remember having my heart ripped out. You guys were just kids. So anybody but the Ravens win the Super Bowl.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ross.
I'm joining Roger. I'm spitting.
There you go. Finally.
I am not. First off, I'm
Or
not betting.
sip like Ed.
I am not betting against Pat Mahomes. He's just too good, and he's proven it. They could figure it out because they have him. They figured it out. Heck, Travis Kelce didn't have a great year, but he got 2 touchdowns in that game. He'll figure it out. Andy Reid, I think, is going to come up with an offensive game plan, and their defense is actually pretty solid. But I'm on the opposite end of what Ed said. Obviously, I'm biased. I'm a Bearcat. I'm pulling for the Travis Kelce resume. There's no Cincinnati Bearcat that is in the Professional Football Hall of Fame.
Really?
Jason Kelce will probably be the first one before Travis, but I just want him to stack that resume, possibly go down as the greatest tight end of all time. I know that'll be debated a lot, but I mean he's in that conversation. I think one more Super Bowl. I gotta push for that. And the Taylor stuff really doesn't annoy me because what's wrong with having more female NFL fans and getting young ones into it now? And you know what? What if Taylor Swift's first man is from Cleveland? That just helps us all out.
She has good songs.
And you know what? They're supposed to be annoying. You know what I mean? It's like annoying because the Chiefs are annoying, and it's annoying, but it's still kind of fun. But they're still annoying.
I'm not a Swiftie, but her songs bang. I'm not gonna lie, they're good.
Do you think like Travis is going to have any difficulty playing the game after he gets double penetrated by the little people? Anything?
I have to ask Andrew.
Okay. No. Anyway, all right, we'll move it along. So the Browns reportedly hired running back coach Deuce Staley. So the statement is he is an upgrade to Stump Mitchell. I'm hate sipping, but I'm sipping on this one.
As you should.
I have no idea if he's going to be a good coach, but as I said earlier, he was in demand, which is a good thing. He came to the Browns pretty quickly, which means he probably wants to be here, which is I think that's a positive. But I will say the one thing that gives me confidence is the Browns made some moves last season, upgrading the special teams coordinator that needed to be upgraded. And our special teams was pretty amazing for the most part this year, outside of some returns that weren't too cool. And we upgraded, obviously, the defensive coordinator, which everyone was talking about, which was pretty successful at home, at least. So I do think the Browns know what they need to do to get better. So I'm going to be a little bit more confident than just saying I know nothing and saying they've done some moves in the past that have worked out. So I'm hopeful this one will work out too. But I'm not confident enough. I don't know anything about them to know that our running game is just going to magically get better. Roger.
I'm going to chug on it, and it has absolutely it has nothing to do with do I think he's a better coach than Stump Mitchell or is Stump Mitchell a better coach than him. I think that they probably are about the same caliber of their running back coaches, man. Freddie Kitchens was a running back fucking coach. What I do believe is that Stump Mitchell, it's a small room, and you get to develop personal relationships in a 3-4 man room more than say the offensive line room with 7, 8, 9 guys. Say with the linebacker, it's a small room. You got 3-4 guys in there, and you've been there for 4 years. I until today, Cam Justice, I better give her the credit for her interview because you see Adam the Bull and the heat that those fucking guys took for not giving her credit. But she did an interview and he got all over Kareem Hunt. And I think became personal, but something with him and Kareem Hunt became very personal. I think at that point that something needs to change, and I think it was Stump Mitchell that, not saying that Kareem Hunt's going to be back, but I think that became personal relationships, and he just kind of threw Kareem under the bus on the way out, and he tried to dress it up as I could have been a better coach for him and got more out of him. And if you read between the lines, he's throwing Kareem under the bus. I think it's a good upgrade because I think that the room started getting weird, maybe. So, and then there's the leaks that he's the leak to media, probably to Cam Justice, and that's why she broke it first thing in the morning. You see how that all fell together? She broke the whole thing about them firing everybody, and that was Rizzo that said that. Riz, he knows his stuff. So
We don't get that down in Columbus. Ohio State doesn't do that.
And Kevin Stefanski said 2 years ago, we find out you're leaking stuff out of his building, you will not have a job. He said that. I forget why, but what was going on. But he did say that at one point, Stefanski. He made no bones about it. So hey, and you know what though, the thing about him, he was a Steeler for a while. So I guess I don't know. We'll see what kind of coach he is. But like I said,
he's about to downgrade to a sip there.
Well, didn't he chug? We did.
I got accidentally drunk again.
He's like, well,
It
he's a
happened.
Steeler, so I'm gonna spit on it.
All right, Ross.
Oh, this is textbook sip. Anyone out there, any of you Browns Twitter people, Browns X, that think you have an opinion on if he's a better coach than Stump, you're full of freaking shit. You do not know anything about the Panthers organization, so you haven't heard a thing about him. You don't know anything about what Stump did or didn't do, if he did run game coordinating stuff or just strictly coached the running backs. No one knows. And the fact that I'm going this far that I have to talk about.
I like the rant. Keep going, Ross. I love it.
I'm talking about a running backs coach. I don't know anything about it. I don't want to ever hear about a running backs coach unless it's Nick Chubb kicking ass, which is why we know Stump Mitchell.
Right.
This looks like a great hire. He's going to be a great guy. Okay, because he coached for the Panthers, who were the worst team in the league. Yeah, because great.
Right. After McCaffrey left. So
you're just happy there's change. There's probably a good reason for it. The organization knows it, and maybe some of the beat writers that are close to the team. But
I like him because he's got a he's
my gripe is, as a fan, I'm sipping because I shouldn't have an opinion on this. I really have no freaking clue.
Love it.
I like Stump's beard. I didn't like Stump's beard.
Sorry, that's why I made this question, because you were ranting a little bit earlier, and I love the passion and enthusiasm. Sorry, Roger, I was cutting you off.
No, I jumped in. I said I was looking at the picture. They had the picture side by side today, and it's like Stump's got that big beard, and then that's why people love Stump, because he had that beard. And then this dude's just got a regular little stubble like a Kevin Stefanski, the black guy version of Kevin Stefanski beard.
All right, Ed.
Well, I just want to say that I appreciate you guys' rants tonight. You guys, before it's all about me, and I love me some me, that's never going to change. God. And, I wake up in the morning, Andy, this is true, and I hug myself. And I said, I missed you last night, and I get to see myself in the morning. It's this beautiful thing in the mirror. Everybody should do that. They should love yourself. God loves those that love themselves. But here's the thing. You guys' rants are awesome tonight. I actually enjoy you guys having the passion more than I do. It's been fun. But here's the thing about Stump and Deuce and whatever you got going on here. I'm going to chug, and here's why it's an upgrade. And this is a bad joke I was thinking about all day, Andy, and I get to use it. So thanks for the statement. Because, let's be real, guys. Did Stump get any production out of Nick Chubb this year? You have Nick Chubb. Oh, people said he got injured, right? Well, I get injured. I go to work. No offense. Here's the thing, Stump. And going back to the names. You got a guy named Stump. That's not exactly conducive of a runner, a stump. It's a treat. I don't think something fast, do you? When I think of Deuce, though, Deuce, it could be, depending on what kind of Deuce you got, but it sounds like like Deuce Staley. That name itself sounds like a running back.
Sounds like number two.
Stump sounds like a.
I gotta be honest. Lamar was running to the locker room pretty fast when he.
That Deuce was fast. Probably that Deuce was fast. So yeah, give me Deuce because of the name, Andy, and I'm chugging on that. Thanks for the assist on that one too, by the way.
All right. We got one more. This is a bonus one, but it's gonna be fun. Roger, we're gonna start with you. The Dog Chuck should try and get Ed to come back on full time every week.
Spit on that.
I'm going first on this.
Yeah.
I ran out of beer. I'm chugging. I'm chugging because I want Ed. I want Ed full time all the time. So, Ed should rejoin the Dog Chug. Without a doubt. There's no argument out of me. He owes me like $10 anyway, so now
I do
can get
owe.
it back.
No, that's true. No, but you know what? Though I gave that money to Ohio State. Ryan Day shook me down, Roger. I was gonna give it to you. He's like, I need some NIL money. I got shaken
Went
down.
to the
I
NIL.
apologize.
It went to the transfer portal, didn't
Went
it?
to the transfer portal. I'm sorry.
All right. Ross.
Everybody chipping
Oh
in.
yeah. Oh man. Ed, this is not one of those Andy setup things. I do not have a script on what my answer is supposed to be so that Andy is the tiebreaker. But I'm gonna have to spit strictly to balance the ego out, because if I chug and Roger chugs, Ed needs haters. Ed is motivated by haters, and if I'm the hater, he needs me. He's gonna actually be more motivated
He
by
does
my
need
spit
you.
than
He
Roger's
does.
chug, because that's how he thinks. He's worried. And also, you have been talking a shit ton faster. Maybe it's just I'm not used to hearing you every single week
Yeah, that's
anymore.
probably it. Yeah.
But you are talking very fast, and you keep drinking caffeine, and I'm very concerned.
Fair enough. People say that a lot. Ross, I appreciate your candidness.
But I'll give you a compliment. It's not the biggest spit I've ever done,
That's
but
fair.
you do bring a lot to the table and a lot of entertainment, for better or for worse.
It's a lot of worse, but I appreciate that.
All right, Ed, what do you think about this?
Well, I'm going to make this tough. I'm going to make Andy. I'm going to have to spit on that one
Wait,
because
then it can only end in a tie if you sip.
right, it can only end up in a tie. And I think sometimes things just need to be. You sometimes have to be figured out outside the air, and it can lead to other bits down the road. I'm not anything. Any move I make. We had the Fire Ed movement, guys. Remember that fun movement? And look, alum, Dog Chug alum, and I take that. I've always said I love this show. I always have, and but to make it great, you got to give people the suspense and everything. And sometimes you guys, like Ross says, I'm an egomaniac. Keep me on my toes, Andy. That's when I'm on my best. So I'm spitting because I'm curious to see what you'll do.
Okay. Well, look, first of all, someone has accused the three hosts of the current Dog Chug that we have the charisma of a lobotomy patient is worse than Kevin Stefanski. And I agree. We're all kind of three dorks. We're boring. We just kind of like give our answers, blah, blah, blah. Ed, you're the energy. You're the spark. You're wild. We get to make fun of you.
I missed that, Andy. I missed that.
You annoy the audience.
Stockholm syndrome.
And listen, when you're on the Dog Chug, people hate you, they love you, but they're talking about the Dog Chug.
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
the three of us. We're just kind of out there in the cosmos, ignored. No one's paying attention. So
I'll get you attention. I'll get you that.
on this one. We would love to have you back. I would love to have you back.
Yeah.
Wow.
I spit on it, so
Yeah, you said. Well, you know what? As guests and as I can always change my mind. I will chug. Of course, guys. You know what I'm saying. Of course, you know what I'm saying. You always come home. You know what I'm saying. I like LeBron says. I hold no grudges. I come home. I come home as the promise keeper. You know what, guys? It's nothing but fun with you guys. And whatever happens. And yeah, I'll never say no to you, Andy. That's my downfall in life. I'll never say no to you.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens.
All right.
And with that, I think this has been an excellent episode of the Dog Chug. I had fun. Roger, what are your thoughts right now?
All like totally like my thoughts right now.
I mean, you got to be thinking it's been an emotional show. It's been a fun show. A lot of laughs.
Man, yeah. I some things like really perturbed me earlier today that just festered. And I was just in a crappy mood, like going into before the show. Then I get on Twitter and X or whatever, and I'm arguing with people. And of course, I see a Harbaugh, the job thing. He landed a job, and I tweeted out Buckeyes national championship. Like the Browns Super Bowls, like we were winning Super Bowls every week. And I don't know, man. Having Ed on tonight kind of suited me. It was like old times. Once we started doing the show, it was like old times. So I don't know, man. The football season's over. We're going straight through. The next stop is free agency after the Super Bowl, right? And then the draft. And I need Ed back because I can't face this season. I have no faith in the quarterback. I don't think he can stay healthy. And when he is healthy, he's going to be rusty. And I'm worried. So I need Ed on Dog Chug.
And I'm used to lying, Andy.
The
So
2024 season.
Roger, I can help you out with that. Don't worry about it. It's not like I ever told a lie before. So I'll make you fall in love with Deshaun Watson, whether I believe it or not as well.
You know what? When Ed and I we were talking, and before the Dog Chug even started, him and I got in a big fight over when Deshaun Watson sat on the bench, and he wanted to go get him then. And Baker Mayfield, I was like, we got into a big fight over that. Over Watson, and this is way before the trade. This is about a year before I had. That was the beginning of 2019 when that happened.
You're the only
Before
one that
it all
makes the
went to
Michigan
shit.
hat sexy, Roger.
Yeah, we had a huge fight over that. Yeah.
Well, I think you ladies should work it out, hug it out, whatever. But anyways, it's been a great episode of the Dog Jug, in my opinion. Hope the audience agrees. Ed, thank you so much for coming back on.
I don't say no, Andy. So you don't have to thank me. I'm like a dog. If you put food in my face, I'm coming on. Don't worry about it.
And to Andrew Barry, thank you for coming on the Dog Jug and making us legitimate.
Yeah, he's at the strip club right now. Actually, like I said, that he left. It's a funny thing. I'm saying we have become tight, Andrew and I, and he left. He had some cologne on, some bad cologne, and he was trying to mask some kind of smell. So I don't know. He's at the club tonight.
Nice. Well, hopefully next time he remembers to read off the script and not off the note card.
Thank you, Bryce.
New fan, Bryce Kuhn.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Roger, Ross, Ed, thank you so much. It's been a blast. And go Browns and go Cavs. Let's try and
man, go Cavs.
Cavs Chug next week. Book it.
Hey, I got to do one for lesson.
Hey,
go Browns!
Pitchers and catchers reporting like fucking 2 weeks.
Settle down.
And I believe Land Media. I'll be on a Guards podcast this year. I believe Land Media. Catch that.
Nice.
Cavs, Guardians right around the corner.
I cannot wait to hear you talking about the Guardians 6 weeks before training camp or whatever. It's gonna be fascinating. Anyway, with that, drink them if you got them, and go Browns.
Go Browns.